Okay, so I got this thing hooked up, and I just realized something. Oh, wait. There's the off button. I was about to be like, why doesn't there have an on? Why is there no on and off button? It was just right in the middle. And something I also want to show you is, I'm going to review this in the long run, but it was my birthday recently, and you're going to see some stuff that looks a little different. That's because I just picked it up, and I'm going to review it eventually. This is what my collection looks like now, currently. And I picked up Model 1 Sega Genesis. That's right, only $50, not bad. And also for my birthday, I got a new TV. It's a flatter screen, and I can watch movies for free, which is awesome. So yeah, the Model 1 Genesis is a beautifully console. It's a beauty here. It's 16-bit. Oh, and I also picked up a Super Game Boy. But yeah, again, I'm also going to review all this. I'll review all this eventually. Yeah, like I'm going to review this, whatever this is for my Switch. I'm going to review this, all this, whatever you see here in the retro haul. Let me show you. So that's why I picked up these cartridges. See how they go in nice and... This is how a cartridge should fit in. You see, you just put it down like that. Hold on a second. You just put it in like this. I don't know why it just slammed in like that. Now I have to make sure the Genesis isn't broken. But since this is an official retro console, it should work just fine. And then you just take it in out like so. You just... like that. Gee, I really hope that didn't break anything. Damn. Damn, that got slammed in there. Jesus. And yeah, compared to this, which actually goes in nice and calm. Now, the Genesis was screaming at me for putting that cartridge in its slot. It did not want its... Okay, so here, this time I'd have to go into components. There's no AV option. The component is AV here. So then I'm just going to switch it on to 16-bit. Developer only with... Huh? Welp. That's a good thing I kept this. Is this some kind of anti-piracy measure? Huh. There's a use for this. In that case, let's go ahead and test out Street Fighter 2 Championship Edition. Which should go in like that. Huh? What? I don't understand. Wait. But this is supposed to be compatible with Genesis. Huh. I mean, I did buy this thing for NES, so hopefully this does work for NES. Well, in that case, I'm glad I bought a Sega Genesis. Because if I bought Genesis games thinking they were going to play on here, I was wrong. Test SD on X. And switch it over to 8-bits. There we go. But why is there no sound? Oh, there we go. At least it works with NES, which was what I was trying to go for. I don't know how I'm going to play with A right here and then B right here, but I'll figure it out. Hey, it works with NES at least. Whoop-de-doo. So good. At least this will be exclusive for these kind of games, which is actually pretty good. Which means this little thing will still get use. Let me just hook this up and make sure this thing still works after what I put the cartridge slot through. Okay, so here's my Sega Genesis hooked up. And the controller even hooks up to the Genesis. So, double points. Hello. Let's test out the 6-pack, and let's actually get a satisfying snap in this time. There we go. Nice and easy. Let's just make sure I didn't screw anything up. Back to component. Thing is unhooked. It really does look on a Model 2 Genesis. And I went ahead and tested the NES games. They work just fine, like I said. So, turn it on. Oh, good, thank God. This is what Sega Genesis looks like. So yeah, they'll work on an official Genesis, but not on the Gen X. Which is okay, Huh? Damn it, I thought this worked. Come on. They hooked in. Man, the Genesis really does not like this thing. That's too bad, it's a 6-button controller, what the hell? Oh. Well, it's okay because I have the original 3-button. Okay, so it's a cosmetically flawed 3-button controller, but man, this thing is made for big... Yep, there it is. So yeah, I picked this up last Sunday. Love this thing. Sonic 1. Oh, thank God this thing isn't broken. I was worried for a second. I was like, what the hell was that? So yeah, technically I just bought 2 Sega Genesis in 1 week. One to replace the NES. Or at least the piece of crap I had. Yeah, there you go. There's Sonic for you. Okay, so that's gonna do it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Remember, every hero needs a Genesis. So stay tuned and see you guys later. Nearly 3 years later, and here we are. I've had some time to grow a beard, and I shaved my hair. Twice. And the duration of those 3 years. Hopefully one of these days I'll grow my hair back. But if not, then it is what it is. I'm fine either way. One thing I do still have is this abomination. Personal rating. This thing's a piece of shit. I'm sorry. It's garbage. And I'll show you why. So, also, I had realized after rewatching that video of me reviewing this thing with the Model 1 Sega Genesis, which I now... Well, before I sold the Model 1 Genesis, I sold a few things in my collection for official NES. Again, you're going to see why. So I have a Genesis Model 2 now, which is also a great version of the Genesis. I think the Model 3, you're cutting it back a little much there, but the Model 2 is pretty good. I do like the Model 2, but I think I know why the games weren't working before. This little switch right here, I think is to switch between NTSC and PAL, so if you flip them, it should work. So the Genesis slot is still intact. The pins are all still there in order. But the NES, day one I bought this thing. I mean, you saw me play SNES on this thing, but after beating Life Force on this thing, I mean, beating the game on this thing is pretty incredible and all, but after taking it out, this is why I don't buy Famiclones anymore. Or this is why I don't really buy clone consoles. So, I haven't really touched it since, barely at all. Other than to play Golden Axe. So yeah, I stopped collecting Genesis games for a while, but I want to show you my up-to-date Sega Genesis collection now that I bought a Genesis Model 2 nearly, what was it, a year ago? I think it was just about a year ago or something, maybe more than that I bought a Sega Genesis Model 2. And since I haven't done a collection update in the longest time, I want to show you what games I currently have in my collection. This one's going to kind of be out of order. But let's start off with a couple EA games. We got our Super Baseball 2020. This is a port of the Neo Geo game. If you have to go with a Genesis sports game, go with this one. Because it doesn't just... There are so many Genesis sports games out there, it's like shoot 'em ups. I feel like there are more sports games than there are shoot 'em ups out there for the Genesis. This one doesn't just focus on... This one doesn't really have like a realistic focus on it. It's all like sci-fi and robots and stuff and power-ups, which just makes the game even better. This is an awesome sports game for the Genesis. And then we have Fatal Labyrinth. I believe a lot of people don't like this one. I don't mind it. I think it's pretty competent. It's a Psygnosis shooter, a port of a Amiga and Atari ST game. I think they did a fairly decent job here. It's not bad. I got a Vector Man, kind of Mega Man, kind of Donkey Kong Country. I don't think it's as good as either of them, but it's still not a bad game. Not a bad one to go with. Ugh, this thing's giving me freaking allergies. Here's the Sega Genesis 6-pack with Sonic the Hedgehog, Golden Axe, Streets of Rage, Revenge of Shinobi, Columns, Super Hang-On. Not a single stinker in here. All of them are great games. We got a nice port of an arcade game, a pinball game, Side Pocket. You can't see the title here. Somebody decided to stick something on here for some reason. It's a good game. Data East. Good billiard game. I love me my 8-ball. I'm good at Real Pool too. Here's Shadow Dancer. Not quite a port of the arcade game. It's kind of its own thing. It's still a very nice game. I love it. My favorite version of Miss Pac-Man. Now, if you have a 6-button controller, make sure you hold it down while you're turning the Genesis on to turn it on a 3-button mode. Otherwise, it will not work right. I thought this game was broken at first. I thought it sucked, but after figuring it out, it ended up being probably the best version of Miss Pac-Man I've played. Got our Mortal Kombat. Very sensible port of the game. Very nice. And if you're wondering what I'm doing over here, I'm building a little Sega Tower of Power, which you're going to see in a second. Here's another shooter, Forgotten Worlds by Capcom. It's got some stickers up here that makes me believe this game was formerly sold at Video Game Connections, even though I bought this one at the Exchange in Kent. Here we have another fighting game which I don't like as much. Eternal Champions. I saw this one loose and thought it would be great for my collection. The game's not that great. It's super hard. It doesn't play as well as Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter in my opinion. I think you're better off getting the Sega CD version just for presentation alone. We have a couple interesting ones here. I have a couple reproduction games, and I know I've talked shit about reproduction before, but sometimes, because of the price of the actual games, they're not bad. Like this one right here, Contra Hard Corps. Probably one of my favorite Sega Genesis games, and one of the hardest. So, as you can see, the label is very glossy. It's significantly cheaper than an authentic copy, but it will play on your Sega Genesis. It's a very nice game. It's ridiculously hard, but it's such a riot. It's so good. We got some Altered Beast, a little washed out cartridge, but the game works. I've had to take it apart and clean it with some IPA, and then everything was hunky-dory from there. You have another reproduction here. Grindstormer, another one by Tengen. Very cool shooter. This one is very nice. I wonder if it's part of the Raystorm trilogy. It looks like one of the ships from Raystorm, even though I've never played that one before. Probably one of my other favorite Sega Genesis games, and this one is an authentic copy. Thunder Force 3. I talk about this one a lot, I think. Prequel to Thunder Force 4, or renowned classic. Here we go. Towers piling up. Got a sensible racing game, Super Monaco GP. Not much to say about that one, really. All right, and here's one of the games featured from the video, Street Fighter 2 Special Champion Edition. This is one of my favorite Street Fighters of all time. If you have a 6-button controller, it's one of the greatest of the 16-bit era, in my opinion. All right, Sonic 2. Everybody loves a little Sonic 2.
soon. Sonic Spinball. I don't like this one very much, and I don't think a lot of other people like it either. I can't argue with them. I'd rather play the Game Gear version just to look at the 8-bit graphics alone, because it accomplishes more on the Game Gear visually than the Genesis plays, and that's not a happy statement. I mean, it's on every Genesis collection, so what are you going to do? It's okay. I don't hate it, but it's not great. And last one, which is a great game, is Twin Cobra, another shoot-'em-up. This is another shoot-'em-up here. I thought it was going to be some average Acclaim title at first, which Tiger Heli was published by Acclaim, and even that one's on the NES, and that one's pretty good. Funny enough, the video featured before this one was Genesis and NES combo, so funny I bring it up. This one's a great shooter. This one's actually published by Toaplan. And that's currently the up-to-date Sega Genesis collection right there. Pretty happy with it so far. I think we've come a long way. What you just saw was, by the way, I almost forgot to mention, what you just saw in the first half was a bit of a canceled unboxing video of the Retron, or the Retron G, the Gen X, the Retron Gen X. That was a snippet from that unboxing video that I thought I'd share, so what do you guys think? Should I have uploaded that, or should I have left it off? But either way, I thought this would make an interesting video. Thank you guys for watching. See you around.